I did an episode called Check In on Your Friends, and people started checking in. Every day is a story. I'm Shannon Cason. I feel fully checked. Listeners new and old have been checking in with me. What's up to Lee out in Macedonia? Lee in Macedonia checked in with me. Most of my friends come through Homemade. Most of my latest friends have come through the podcast. I just met some really cool people through the podcast over the years. My boy Miles hit me up, and he lives here in Detroit. And sometimes I forget that we know each other through the podcast. He had reached out to me years ago, and he was starting a podcast, and we met up in the city. And since then, we started hanging. I remember I invited him out to a Snap Judgment event. But even beyond podcasting, we started hanging. I think he helped me move, if I'm not mistaken. He listens to the podcast. He'll let me know. Miles is a jack of all trades. And that's not an insult to him. That's just being real. He's a hip-hop artist. He's a bartender. Like, I've gone to his when he's bartending at different bars, and he bartends at the nicer bars too, so I like hanging out, and he give me those a bunch of free drinks, and I just tip him really well. He's a cannabis connoisseur. I tell him, I'm not going to be able to smoke at the level you smoking at, but I will try a little something. And he's a barber. He's a barber at Youngbloods in Hazel Park. All the cool vocations. Miles does all the cool vocations. So he hit me up and he was like, what you doing, man? And I was at my house, at the new house that I'm moving to. I was working on it. So he stopped by. And I showed him around everything, all the, because this is a family house, all the vintage furniture, the art, the records, all the stuff that's in the house. I was kind of showing him around how I was going to paint rooms and fix things up. And Miles, he knows a lot about these kind of things too. His family, his father was like a music exec. Detroit had great music, and all those great albums his father was an executive on a lot of those albums. So it was really cool just showing him around, and he could really appreciate the things that were already there that I was building a new home for. And Miles is the kind of friend that I can talk to about anything. There's no offense, there's no judgment, nothing left off the table. Stuff you really wouldn't say on the podcast or publicly, I can say with Miles. And people think that I'm an open book, and I'm extremely open on what I want to be open about. Other than that, I'm extremely private. I have a saying, it's the storyteller controls the memories. The key word there is controls. Even when I teach storytelling, I talk about control. So we start the conversation and we get into popular culture, the state of music, hip hop, the everything that's going on in the world right now. The new Ye album, he had a big concert that's all over the internet, and we have a conversation about that. But you would have to be in the room. Then we get into work. He tells me about the barbershop and the bar that he's working at and all the people there and everything that's going on there. And I tell him about this job prospect that I had that I really don't even understand how I wasn't given an offer. It was a storytelling and an event-based job. I got all the previous experience in, even working in the Detroit business community. I don't understand how I didn't get the jobs. Is preposterous to me. Preposterous, I say. But the reasons that I came up with, I told Miles, but you'd have to be in the room to hear it. Then the conversation moves to women and the current women in our lives and the state of dating, especially in Detroit. You know, it's a different world in Detroit. It's totally different here. And what he thinks would be best for me at this point, and what I think that'll be best for him at this point, we allow each other to give opinions in our conversation, but you would have to be in the room to hear any of that. Miles, like I said, he's a connoisseur of weed. He asked me if he can smoke his vape pen, and I know he really wants to roll one and light it up, but I don't smoke in my house. Like, the thing is, I would have to get the smoke filter. I'm going to smoke because I love cigars and, I love an occasional smoke of weed. But the thing is, I would have to get the filters the way I want them to be because I hate the smell of smoke in my house. I'd rather go outside. I don't want to walk in the house after a long day and smell smoke. That's just me. But I let him use the vape pen. The vape is cool. And then we get into religion. Miles is the kind of guy that I can talk to about race and religion. And we get into religion, and Miles is a reader of everything. I text him sometimes. I text him questions about philosophies and philosophers and religious icons and religious thoughts and ideas. He's that kind of guy. He's deep into stuff that I wouldn't even bring up on here because I don't know if Miles is okay with sharing that, but you'd have to be in the room. And when it was all done, he had gave me some shirts too. He has some shirts that couldn't fit him. Like, they was way too big for him. So I tried them on and they worked pretty good. But when he left, I felt inspired. I felt inspired to expand my thinking. No limits, no judgment, no holding back. And maybe I will share more of that in coming time with these daily stories that I'm telling. But maybe I'll invite you in the room at some point. But my moment of meaning in all that was like, you need friends that you can talk to about anything. And some conversations aren't meant for everybody. You got to know the difference. You got to read the room. Do you have somebody in your life that you can talk to about anything? No judgment, no censoring, no limits. What's your story?